from this area?
Yeah, we live right over there.
Okay. Tell me from your account, like, what happened yesterday?
All of a sudden, Dr. Evans came on the speakers, and he sounded pretty shaken up, and he was just saying that, we're going on lockdown, and so my teacher, she went and she locked the door and, put the shades over the window, and we went back to the classroom, and we kind of just waited to hear more. There was, like, a lot of speculation as to what, people thought were going on, and, like, a lot of people texting me, and, like, what they thought happened, and then we kind of just waited there for a few hours.
Did you hear the shots?
So, in that classroom, like right kind of below us, there's, like the band rooms and things like that. So we sometimes we'll hear like loud noises, but we never think anything of it. So we might think it's a desk or something. So we didn't necessarily hear the shot, but things like that happen a lot. So we wouldn't.
Did you know either of the students who were involved?
Yeah, I know the student who was shot. Unfortunately, I wasn't very close with him, but I knew him.
Okay. Being a 10th grader, right? Being a 10th grader, you unfortunately heard about so many school shootings over the years. How does it feel for it to get so close to home?
It was definitely weird. At first, I didn't really like process it. When I got home and talked to my mom, that's when it really like kind of hit and set in. But I think that I don't know what the solution is, but it's pretty scary to think that it happened at our school, and thank God it wasn't worse.
Montgomery County has been dealing with so much with trying to, keep you guys in school safely with COVID and all of those things. This is another element added to an already probably tough school year for some of you guys. How are you feeling?
Definitely scared to come back on Tuesday. A little bit nervous, but I have faith that MCPS will handle this the best that they can, and I wish the victims a speedy recovery.
We hear about lawmakers all the time having opportunities to pass, and stop me if this is beyond your scope of expertise. But we hear stories all the time about lawmakers being able to pass legislations around guns. What do you want to see from your local leaders as it pertains to guns?
Guns are one thing. I think guns in schools are a pretty scary thought, so I don't really know what the solution is to things like this happening, but I think that they need to find one.
You're what, 15?
Yes.
15. Have you ever heard a gunshot before?
Yeah, I think I've definitely heard a gunshot before, but not in a school setting or anywhere that you wouldn't expect it.
When it all happened, and once you guys realized what was happening and they locked the school down, what did you guys have to do? Kind of walk me through that.
Like I said, my teacher, she tried to follow protocol, and then we were just in the back of the classroom. I'd never heard a group of teenagers so silent before. I think that, like, no one was crying. I think we all knew that we had to stay calm in a situation like this. And I texted my parents right away, and our family group chat was blowing up their phones, and I think everyone was just trying to get a hold of their parents. It was pretty scary. My hands were shaking, my heart was pounding, but, we knew we had to stay calm, and there was nothing we could do at that point. And after, like, the first 2 hours, when we were all watching the live footage on the news, I think that's when we knew, when we saw the SWAT cars come, and we knew that everything was going to be okay.
How many police did you see? Like, once you finally guys were able to come out of that classroom, what did you see?
Oh my gosh, 20, 30, so many. They were like all lined up outside of the school. It was like you couldn't see anything because the lights were flashing red and blue walking out.
And what did the officers say to you guys?
They didn't say much. They kind of just directed us, where to go, and just telling us to get on our buses and just kind of directing us.
Do you normally ride the bus to and from school?
Typically, my parents would drop me off.
When you were finally reconnected with your parents yesterday,
the best feeling ever. My best friend and I, we actually took the bus home because it was going to be faster to get home. And when we got to my house, we both hugged my dad. Her mom was on the way to my house, and then I ran inside and hugged my mom, and I just broke down. I was so thankful to be home with my family.
was school supposed to be in session on Monday?
No.
It was already,
Yes.
it's like a teacher work day or something, or
End of quarter planning, I think.
okay. How do you feel? You said you're nervous about Tuesday.
I'm definitely nervous about Tuesday, but I think that everyone will kind of be in the same boat with their nerves, and I think that, as sad as it sounds, definitely brought our community closer together.
If you could say something to another student who may be having a tough time at school, we don't know all the details surrounding why this person did what they did, right? But if you could say something to another teenager who's thinking about doing something violent at a school, what would you say to them?
Think about their families, think about your future and what you're doing, and think about how you would feel if you were every other student in that building not knowing